So this is October 21st, doing a video of the space behind Family Video in New London. Starting on the extreme south east corner, which would be along the west side of Family Video. A few things. First of all the posts will have a 6" by 6" by 1 foot bump out, which you could probably frame in a wall in between there. That's what it's probably for, as well as additional pilaster support. All the base concrete is 8 inches wide. The cross members are 3 feet 6 off the base, and then 7 feet 10 off the base, and then a further one up. There's 3 cross members in the rear. And as you go down as the roof steps down towards the north, there's 2 cross members and some racking supports, and then 2 cross members for the rest of the space. The idea of the cross members is to see what needed to be removed in the event that an area was opened up and somehow headed off. Maximum height in the rear is over 17 feet clear. That doesn't include a drop ceiling if anything was required. And then all the way down on the north side it drops down to around 12 feet, but that is limited because of the garage door on this side hanging down at the 12-foot level. Could be a little bit higher, but probably not significant. So the construction characteristics are the same throughout. Note on the west wall there appears to be an abandoned water line. Maybe that could be used for water. The west dock entry has a lift in it. We had this operational before. I have not tested it this time. It's a 10-foot high door, or 12-foot high. Double check that on the notes. It is, the garage door is 10 feet high and 8 feet 6 wide. So don't know if any of this works. Here's the motor for it. I know it could be rehabilitated if necessary. We go along the north wall. You have the first man door. We never use this man door. It looks in pretty good shape. Maybe it doesn't work. We have the unit heater, which I've told does work, and we need to do that to keep it below freezing in the wintertime. Going further along the north wall. We have the man door that we use a lot, and it's somewhat rusted out at the bottom and cold air can get in. So ultimately there'd probably have to be something done with that. Before we go to the rest of the space, I want to review this side, because this side from the second man door all the way down to behind the west side of Family Video is probably the premium space to get something started here. It could be walled off. It doesn't force us to get into the issues with this outrigger room that goes on the north. And it doesn't force us to get into the really big space in the rear, although maybe someone will want the whole thing. So we could run a wall, in theory, just isolating this space and promoting this space first. This is the south wall of the space, which is the north wall of Family Video. Note that the flooring here, even though it's 12 inches, probably got asbestos in it. Maybe not. You have these penetrations. This is sort of one of the openings to the chases that were down below. You've got another opening here covered with plywood for safety. Probably one under this board. Another opening here, 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 and all the way up in this space. These openings need to be dealt with. The tunnel should probably be investigated to see if there's anything in there that has to be dealt with, but they should be closed off, concreted over, or at least using metal plates in some way that does not interfere with the use of the floor. Note that from the original survey establishing the condominium, there is a pin indicating the property line, which is offset 45-degree angle 1 foot to the existing drywall corner. We also have what appears to be maybe a roof leader here, or maybe a plumbing vent, probably a plumbing vent. It's raining really hard outside, so this is a good time to check roof leaks. A week ago there was water in this corner, which is the northwest corner next to the overhead door, and doesn't seem to be any, there seems to be some fresh water coming in there, which maybe is coming from the base of the wall. It does not appear to be coming from the roof, although there is evidence of staining and rust up on the roof level. It's raining extremely hard, so this should be a good test of how much the roof leaks in conditions where there isn't ice damming. Other areas where it's leaking is near the man door that we use along the wall. But what I'm looking for is to see where the water is coming from. Appears to be some fresh leaking there and there. I believe what's going on is the water is backing up against the roof, coming in underneath the concrete. So that can be fixed by better gutters, or by having some kind of a semi-permeable or impervious slope provided against that concrete wall, and it should be done, because water will get in. As far as other work that needs to be done, this is the room off to the north. Let's take a look at this one. There's evidence of creatures having been in here. Some rats' nests and things that were on the other side. Got a tunnel down there, way deep tunnel. There's some water in it. But the roof seems to be sound, which is good. The room needs to be cleaned up. Not sure what utility this room has. It used to be outside, and then it was added on later. There's electrical panels in the rear and on the north side or something, so probably can't consider taking it down. Moving on the inside again. There's another, you can see some water down there and some electrical runs, which probably are archaic. And a lot of tile on this side, another reason for holding out the east side from the rest, because of the volume of tile and the general musty condition of it. Former leak here through, and that is leaking. That's an active leak. It's coming through the penetration, which is 20 feet to the west of the east wall, and it's 10 feet from the north wall. This penetration needs to be sealed off. Looking along the north wall, you can hear water, but it's probably hitting things. There's another man door here, which we don't use. There's insulation at the bottom of it, which is probably a good idea. Should be reset. And then we come into the dock door on the other side, which is a high dock, and so the lift brings it up rather than down. And this is totally walled off, sealed off. Probably not useful because a lot of people park over there, but you can see there's water coming in through the dock door. This dock door should probably be taken down and sealed off in a better way, or maybe totally abandoned. And maybe there could be some at-grade door created along the north wall as a substitute, so people can just drive in. But when you go to the east, there's too many parking issues. Some of the newer electric we put in probably run the HVAC unit somewhere. Other than those issues, the east side of the space looks in pretty good condition. There's no evidence of water leaks. You have the same penetrations that have to be dealt with through the floor for the utilities, for the crawl spaces before. Somebody put a bunch of tires, 16 tires. I have no idea if they were abandoned on site and we brought them in, or what the deal is. Going back to the so-called work area that we use for a shop, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 HVAC units that were salvaged from Velp Avenue. Those are not going to be useful under any circumstances these days. By the way, there is an active leak in front of HVAC unit, the first HVAC unit, where the brooms are. There's an active leak coming through the insulation, so that needs to be addressed. So there are 2 active leaks, one around the penetration near the east side and one where the brooms are. And there is also water coming underneath the slab, I believe, from the water outside overrunning the gutters. Anyway, the HVAC units need to be removed and disposed of properly. We're getting a quote from Foreman to do that. They have no value, and they would be an impediment to any perception of the space. There's this old domino sign. I believe that there was some discussion about that in the past, but that needs to be removed from the space. There has to be a methodology for sealing these holes, assuming that they can be sealed and we don't need the chases, or if we do, we need to redo the chases or relocate the utilities. There's miscellaneous building crap along the side, bricks and lights and everything. Another domino sign, the aforementioned tires. Basically, the space needs to be cleaned up with everything removed from it except for what we need for maintenance, which then can be put on a cheap table or something. In order to prepare the space to make it best for showing it, we need to see if we can get some water in here and a way of cleaning the floor. We need to make the door either operational or make it look a little bit better, the overhead door. Need to add more lights. This is a $50 string light from Menards, which does a really good job of lighting about half the space. Another $50 string light will complete the job much better than the 2 shop lights that are here. Then, once the floor is clean, we probably don't have to deal with the tile right now, but if we did, we should do it carefully and be sure that it never becomes an issue. Then I think what we can do is we can, to create a sense of space and possibilities, we run a plastic sheet or cloth or something. We can suspend a wire, not rope because it'll stretch too much, a wire all the way across the space at the beginning of that outrigger room. Then we can hang cloth or plastic from the wire to wall off the space. So when someone comes in the existing man door, they see the square footage that we want to promote because it has the highest visibility, and generally it's in the best shape and it's clean once it's cleaned up. And we could also move all this crap over to the other side using just a regular hand lift, assuming, and get it out of the way until it's disposed of. Wouldn't take much to do all this. Take less than a day with a good 2 or 3 person crew, and the space would be showable.